Hey folks, Coach Brad here at SBG Drayton Valley, and I want to share something with you. I actually had intentions of sharing this actually not too far off from before kind of this closure, and I thought, you know what, maybe now is actually the right time. So this is something I picked up from one of my mentors through soccer, my mentor and coach, David McCarthy, and I'm definitely going to be tagging him because he definitely deserves all of that. He does some awesome stuff for the youth, and he's worth following. He's just a positive energy, his whole family. So thank you, David, for instilling in me some of those. So we're going to talk about controllables and non-controllables. First, we're going to talk about how it relates to our world here, jiu-jitsu. Some awesome signatures, check those out. And then we're going to talk about how it relates to you in the world, and maybe this is something that you need to hear, maybe the timing is right, and that's our hope and that's our goal. So, we'll start with a nice circle right here in the middle. Before we fill in that circle, we're going to start talking about non-controllables. So if we're talking about jiu-jitsu or kickboxing, what are some things that we cannot control? They're out of our control. Okay? Obviously, I can't hear you, so we're going to fill in the blanks as we go. One of those, of course, is our partners. And apologies for any messy writing. Okay, so we can't control our partners. We can't control the amount of pressure they give us. If they show up, if we're scheduled to spar or train and all of a sudden they slept in. Right? We can't control who shows up to the gym. So our partners. If we're in a tournament, we can't control the referees. Okay? We can't control if they make a slip, especially we see it sometimes in our kids' competition. Hey, they're human, they make mistakes. We can't control that. If we're younger, we can't control our parents. So we can't drive ourselves to the game or to the fights or the tournament, but maybe mom and dad, maybe they took a little bit too long to get ready, and now you're running late, and they're going to rush you in to weigh in and to the bullpen. So it's something that we can't control, right? Siblings, I guess, would be in that same thing. Okay? What is something else? I've got my daughter, Coach Cameron, here holding the phone. What is something else that we maybe can't control in the world of jiu-jitsu?
Our coach.
Our coach, absolutely. Okay? Our coach or coaches, we can't control them, all right? We can't control what they're going to teach, how hard they come down on us, or maybe if we need a boost, maybe they're being too soft. We can't control our coaches, who we have. We're limited to our community. If we're a small town, if we're in the city, hey, we can switch gyms, but if you're watching this in your SBG, why would you do that? We can't control our coaches, good or bad. Sometimes they're just fantastic, and sometimes, you just don't mesh, right? So for the most part, you can see, these are a lot of things that we can't control. We can't control our start time either. Okay? We can't control the time of the classes, when they start, whether we're right after school rushing to get in with the little micro monkeys, or if we're an adult, if it's a late class because of the gym schedule, there's just too many members or classes going on, we can't control that, right? That's the gist. Okay? Here's a lot of things that we can't control. Luckily, we're inside. Okay? We're inside, so the weather doesn't affect us as much, but if we have to drive to a tournament, we can't affect what it does outside, the road conditions, how early we have to leave, what time we have to wake up. So these are all things. The equipment, okay? We can make sure our equipment is clean and washed and ready to go. We can control that. But we can't control what equipment the gym maybe has, what they use, our partners' equipment, if they've got a torn gi, which we won't allow, but maybe they've got, stinky ghee. Maybe there's something just up. We can't control that stuff, all right? So these are all the things that are out of our control, but they affect this circle right here. They affect us. So this circle represents us. And these are things that we can control. So Coach Cameron, what is something that we can control?
Ourselves.
Ourselves. What about ourselves?
The way we dress.
Okay, so we can...
Our lifestyle.
In jiu-jitsu or kickboxing, we can control our equipment. Not the gym's equipment per se, but our own. Make sure it's washed, make sure it's clean, make sure it's not damaged, make sure it's appropriate. I'm not hiding some brass knuckles inside my gloves if I'm going to spar. Okay? We can control our attitude. Okay? Maybe we had an awful day at the gym, or before going to the gym, we had an awful day at work, awful day at school. I can either choose to bring that to the gym and affect other people, or I can say, you know what, that's in the past, I'm going to move on, right? Same with the coach. We can't affect the coach's attitude, but if I'm the coach, I need to make sure that I'm wearing a smile and being positive and giving the right energy to everybody at the gym. So I can control my attitude, okay? I can control my effort, okay? Maybe I didn't get up in time in the morning to drive to that tournament, but you know what? Maybe that means certain things gotta be sacrificed. Maybe I don't get that extra stop at Tim Hortons for my coffee. How much effort do I put in? Did I get up in time? Did I set my alarm on time? Did I hit snooze? Am I being lazy? The amount of effort we put in outside the gym, the amount of effort we put in inside the gym, right? Am I getting to that wall and doing warm-ups before the coach even asks? If the coach says, hey, we're going to go wall-to-wall doing shrimps or jumping jacks or whatever it is, am I going to make sure, hey, I'm going to go right to the other wall, or am I going to cut it early? How much effort am I putting in? Coach Cameron, what is something else that we can have total control of?
The foods we eat. Sometimes that affects us.
Absolutely. We can control our diet, okay? Some of us right now might be on a budget. It doesn't mean that we have to eat really poor, right? Don't need to run to the Subways and the A&Ws at lunch all the time. I can make a meal at home. I can prep. I can make sure I'm purchasing decent foods, not cravings per se, right? So I can definitely affect my diet, which is going to affect my effort, probably my attitude. Okay, so we get the idea of all of these things. We can definitely control how much focus we put in, how much, I'm going to put YouTube, how much YouTube time we put in or not, right? We're going to call this social media. How much time I spend on my phone that's irrelevant to life. Maybe I'm just there scrolling through, all of a sudden it's like, wow, why am I going to sleep so late? Or why did I miss helping my kids with my homework? I can control all of these things. So what we want to talk about is controllables versus non-controllables. This circle here represents you, and more specifically, it represents your 100%. Okay? This is your 100%. Now, somebody that might be, per se, a better athlete than you, due to genetics, or just, naturally more fit, or they've been maybe more experienced, they might have a larger 100%. They might be better at what you do, which makes it seem like they put in more effort, but they don't. It's just relevant to them, okay? Our 100% can always increase at the same time. If we put in more effort, more training, maybe we can get better through repetitions, through proper repetitions. We can get better at the things that we do, which means our 100% is going to grow. And it doesn't matter how much. We have a saying, just get 1% better every day, or every time you go to the gym. That's what we say. So we're just talking about, can you expand your 100%? Now, everything that's on the outside that you let affect you, okay? Think about a tournament. You got more than one match, okay? If you let that referee get to you or that other opponent get to you, and I'm guilty for this for sure, now my 100% is actually being affected is actually less. If part of my mental game is put towards the opposition or the referee, or I'm mad at my mom and dad because they didn't get me to the game on time, that's going to affect my performance. That's going to affect my 100%. So the biggest thing we can remember is non-controllables can affect us if we let it. Okay? So this has been about sports, this has been about our jiu-jitsu or kickboxing, but I want you to remember that this also relates to life. So this is my 100%. I wake up fresh every day. Every day is a new start. If I let outside forces affect my 100%, that's going to maybe deflect onto my friends, my family, my angry social media posts, all right? This could be a boss, this could be a coworker, this could be some news that you got, maybe it's a family situation, your best friends, it could be your schoolwork, it could be your studies, anything that is an outside force can affect your 100%. And what we need to remind yourself, is it controllable or is it non-controllable? Can I control my boss? What assignments he gives me? You know, my wage, my salary. These are all things that we can't control. And right now we're in a time where there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of things going on. We just need to remind ourselves to focus on the things that matter, the things we can control. Okay? Our hours are getting cut. Maybe we're getting laid off. We can't control that, but we can control our attitude towards those events. We need to realize that there's other people, our peers are in the same situation. What kind of attitude are they reflecting, right? Find the most positive, influential people you can around you. Stick with them, continue to follow them, keep wearing the smile, keep moving forward. Anyone that's kind of, you know, a little bit down and out or on the negative side, doesn't mean that you push them away. Maybe you need to just reach out and give them a positive message and see what you can do to maybe influence them in a positive way. But remember that you become the non-controllable. If they don't listen, they don't listen. Worry about your own circle. Hope that it reflects the right energy that's going to affect other people in the right way, in a positive way, and just take this with you, right? You've got 100%, maintain your 100%, find ways that you can grow as a person so that you can have a bigger 100%.